we're going to go over the 16-piece land navigation kit. This is from B.O.S.S. B.O.S.S stands for Bug Out Survival Supplement. Okay, we're going to show you, and it has a nice bag. It shows clear what's on the inside. Once you tear the top off, it has a ziplock where you can zip it again. So he's going to open and show us what's inside, or you can read what's out on the outside.
All right, I'll read what's on the outside.
And then we can show
base plate compass, made in USA, 6 reference cards, a magnifier, ranger beads, 6 waterproof index cards, military style coordinate scale, 2 map bags, pencil, mechanical piece counter. Oh, mechanical pace counter. I can't see for crap. 1 survival information sheet.
Okay, so, and one thing nice is this bag, you can see what's on the inside, but he's going to open it and bring out one piece at a time.
Well, it's your mechanical pace counter. Every time you take a step, you push the button.
Yep, so you would set it and then you can reset it, but that way you could tell if you went 150 paces or whatever. Okay.
Huh. Compass don't say north and south, it just says 0 degrees, so I guess that's supposed to be north, huh?
I guess that's one you would put on the map. Alright, so we have this compass. It has your, on the side it's got your measurements. The arrow, you would have to put it this way to show you which way you're going. But you would set this, you'd have to know how to read a compass so that you would know how to work it. But it does show, and this is one thing you need to learn, is how to read a compass. Everybody needs to take a class of some sort on how to read the compass.
How to use it.
How to use it. So this is saying north is that way. Okay. So there you got your compass. What's next?
A water bag.
These are your map bags that you put your maps in so they don't get wet.
I thought they were water bags.
So it shows, you know, so you have 2 of these that you can put your maps in and they won't get wet. You could also use this to collect water if you need it to, but on the land one, it's to keep your materials dry, I would think.
Map reading and navigation book.
This, yeah, map
She
reading
needs to
and
read
land
that.
navigation book. And this is actually from headquarters of the Department of the Army. It's approved for public release. All right, so that's a nice little book. And this is something you would definitely want to, it would tell you all kinds of things, how to use your compass. I saw as I was skimming through right there. But this is something that you would almost kind of like to have a knowledge of this before you even get out there. But if you you could look something up and say, all right, starting from scratch now. But this is actually a pretty cool little book. It's got all kinds of information in there about map reading and finding your way. So this is a good book. I'm surprised this isn't made out of like where it won't get wet. It's just regular paperback.
It's not laminated.
It's not laminated. That's the word I was looking for. But it's pretty cool on everything, how to do things. You could look it up and turn that page and read it if you need to find out things. But this is something you would almost want a little bit of knowledge before you get out there. So that's a good thing. Okay. We have
A little pack of map tools. It comes with a UTM, whatever that is, and an MGRS, whatever that is, and a USNG, whatever that is. Latitude and longitude thingy. Time, speed, and distance graph. Millimeter grid. Inclement for slope angle, and pocket magnifier.
Go ahead and take it out of that plastic bag and see each item.
Well, I don't really need him.
I'll get it back
I
in
might
there.
know how to use that.
All right, so this is a pencil.
There's your magnifying glass.
It does come with a small magnifying glass so that you could put it on the map and be able to read, to zoom in, to use it as a magnifying glass. This would also be a good magnifying glass.
Something to do with grids, but I don't
And these are
understand that.
your information cards. This is just how some information
Show
that
the
you
back.
could read. It shows how to read the cards, how to read the maps. So, and they have a hole here where you can put it on a ring, like a key ring.
The ring's in here.
The ring is in there, good. So it shows how to read a longitude. This is something, again, you would want to go over this and kind of be
You
familiar.
have to read the book before you know how to use it.
Yeah, you would want to be familiar with all these things because that way you would know how to use them and how they work. But it has a lot of good information with it. This is something that you definitely want to familiar yourself with.
Figure out how steep something is.
But at least it's got some cards to kind of guide you so that you can maybe figure out things.
Time, news, and distance chart.
Yeah, so they're pretty
Put these on the
interesting.
map for
Time,
some
speed, and
time, read 'em.
distance. But this is definitely a pack that you would want to go over and be familiar with and
You have to
know
read the book.
and read the book and know exactly what's going on. And then once you know all that information, these would be very handy as tools. So, and this is just your information pack. It tells you about the cards and stuff. But again, this particular one would definitely want to familiarize yourself, maybe even educate yourself with all this stuff before you would just throw it in your bag and expect it to do any good for you. And it did come with a ring to put your things on. So that's kind of cool. And a pencil. And I bet that pencil is one that you can write on wet paper with. I don't know. Okay. This is another tool they have. It's like a ruler and a, let me see if I can focus on that, coordinate scale and projector. So again, this is something that we would want to be familiar with before we got out in the field with that. But this would be a
And
good,
paper to write your figures and directions down on, so you don't have to stop and figure it out again.
yep, and this gives you some cards to write on. And I think these cards are actually waterproof, or where you can write on them even when it's wet. So
Your pace speed, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
for every so many steps you push another
7,
bead.
8, 9, and then you go over here and you go 10, and then you go pull this one back and do it all over again, and you can get up to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 paces.
Yeah, so again, this is something you would need to be educated on how to use. But this is your walking pace beads.
And I ain't sure what the glow in the dark string's all about.
It gives you some glow in the dark. I guess you can mark maybe a trail, or, but it does come with some glow in the dark. Okay. So we have the pencil, the magnifying glass.
Showing you the difference between true north and navigation north. And there's some more facts and figures I don't understand.
Yeah. Some
And
more.
an experimental map so you can figure out how to read a map while you're reading
Right.
the book.
And here's some more educational things, exactly how to use things. So that's good information. Again, you would want to have this already knowledge. You would want to be familiar with this information and not just throw it in your kit and expect to know exactly what to do with it. This is something you would want to work on, experiment. They give you a trial map that you can kind of to learn. So, and then once you actually have it, when you go somewhere, you would want to have the real map to go wherever you are to go. But this is some very interesting, it has some good information here. Like I said, this kit here definitely is one that you would want educated on before you get it out in the field. and rely on it. But once you are familiar with these things and know how these things work, this would be very useful if you were
We're out somewhere where there wasn't a cell phone.
yeah, for land and navigation. So this kit here is one that you need to be educated on. This is one that knowledge is key here.
You should
All right.
leave it out somewhere. I might want to get around to reading it.
Yeah.
But she never does. She puts it away and hides it.
All right, well, this is one we need to be studying on. All right, thanks for watching.